broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Houston, Texas. It's time for Houston Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hello, Houston. Trisha Stetzel here, bringing you another amazing episode of Houston Business Radio. I have an amazing human being on with me today. Her name is Lovely-Marshal, from securing $500,000 in a Facebook role without a degree to becoming a Forbes featured coach and powerhouse founder. She empowers overlooked and undervalued professionals to transform into highly paid powerhouses by eliminating the obstacles of being the best kept secret. Lovely, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much. You guys missed the pre-show. The pre-show was one of the best. We're gonna invite you in on this though.
Yes, absolutely. And I told Lovely, let's just keep having the conversation. It's all
Yeah.
going to come out. It's all going to come out. Lovely. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. We've connected a couple of times. We had a
Yes.
great pre-show talk today.
Yes.
But for those people who don't know who you are, will you give us a little insight into Lovely
Yes.
Marshal?
Hello, everybody. I am Lovely Marshall. And it's so exciting because I was telling Trisha that in 2025, I am reintroducing myself to my husband and to the world. I am a Forbes influencer, which means that I am a part of the coaching council, the ability to write and empower others through my words. I am a global speaker. I have graced the stages of Dubai, Australia, London. It's incredible, in the good old USA. And I am now an author. So we'll talk about that. A podcast host and a powerhouse strategist. And as Trisha mentioned, I am empowering overlooked experts. That is those of us who know that we have the talent, who know that we have the business mindsets, like we have it, but we're just overlooked, to break free from being undervalued. That means that we're not getting paid our worth, and we are transforming our expertise into $1 million opportunities, hopefully today, this year, right now. And so I am so excited. I was not born like this. I was born in Kansas City, Kansas. I know the Chiefs just lost. But born in Kansas City, Kansas. I am one of 5 daughters, the most beautiful one, if I say so.
Of course.
And and I have literally just took this leap of being overlooked, undervalued, being stuck, and really just wanting to empower other people. Let's make everybody these grand stories. It's not just for the Jeff Bezos, the Mark Zuckerbergs, Steve Jobs. It is for all of us to really transform, and it's really just leveraging our own expertise. And so I'm so excited and so honored to be on this show today. Trisha's own story, is so amazing. So thank you all for listening in and tuning in, and so excited to meet many of you all more in person through the power of this show.
I'm so excited. So I want to start here because when I introduced you, I said, by eliminating the obstacles of being the best kept secret. Let's talk about what that best kept secret actually means, Lovely.
Yes. Okay. So how many of us, raise your hand if you're driving, just honk your horn, have been told you are the best kept secret? And for so long, I was empowered, oh my God, I'm the best kept secret. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody loves it because I'm the best kept secret. But then I realized in my career professional, if you're the best kept secret, then that means the VP doesn't know who you are. How are you getting promoted if you're the best kept secret? If you are a business and you are the best kept secret, how will you be the next Apple or the next HP, the next vacuum or whatever. You cannot be the best kept secret. And it dawned on me, why are so many experts saying these are the secrets of this? This is the secrets of this. And it's like, no, you don't want to be the best kept secret. Like, you should slap anybody who tells you that you're the best kept secret. And so I wrote a book, and it's called The Dangers of Being the Best Kept Secret,
Mhm.
and how it really does make you overlooked and keep you undervalued. Now, your recipes and those things, yeah, those needs to be a secret, but everybody should know your name. It should be like Muhammad Ali, say my name. You want other people to know your name. That's why we got into business, right? We need people to know our name. We need people to know our podcast. We need people to know about us. So we do not want to be the best kept secret, and we need to eliminate that obstacle. And there's various avenues to do that.
Mhm, absolutely. So tell the listeners where they can find your book.
Yes. So right now it is on Amazon. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so excited about this. 'Cause
If you
This
guys
has
can't see
been
her, if
my
you're only listening, she has the biggest grin on her face right now.
this is like just like a dream come true, because I did not want my books to die in me, but you can find my books right now today on Amazon.com/author/Lovely-Marshall, and it will be available beginning on April 15th. But you can pre-order it today. And thank you so much, Trisha.
I'm so excited for you. Now adding author to your title. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. I love it. I'd really like to know, what tools did you use, or how did you change your mindset from being that best kept secret to coming out and being Lovely Marshall and being loud and proud of who you are?
I really think it happened by accident. And the reason is because I worked at Facebook and I got the job without a degree. I don't have a prestigious network. And now I always say this caveat: without a degree does not mean without an experience. I am a powerhouse. I am unstoppable. I am dynamic. I am effective. So I don't want people to be like, you get on Facebook without experience. No, 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 no. Like, I earned it, but I
Yeah.
just didn't have a degree. And it came because I shared my story on a podcast, coincidentally.
Mhm.
That's like amazing. Podcast Fireplace. I shared my story on a podcast to like help me get in the mode of preparing for my interview. And people laughed about it. They were like, ha ha ha, you got a Facebook job? Like, how did you get a Facebook job without a degree? And then they didn't get the Facebook job. They didn't get the Facebook offers. And so it was like, oh, yeah, you used me as a punchline, but you couldn't even get into the opportunities that I was offered without applying. And so because of that punchline, it was like, oh, really, I have something here. Like, I can do something. I can really leverage this. So it literally was my expertise of being able to tell the story that then transformed 200 professionals to get 30 and $50,000 pay increases, like with their exact same job title. Like, it was their exact same job title, but they left their comfort zone trap and then went to new companies. Like,
Mm. That is fantastic. Can we talk a little bit about imposter syndrome? Because I think that there are a lot of women out there who don't carry the same kind of confidence that you exude today. And so, really, have you ever been in a place where you felt like you had imposter syndrome? How did you get over it? And what advice would you have to the ladies who are listening today?
so I have never felt imposter syndrome. What I have felt, which I feel like imposter syndrome is a sense of not belonging. So
Mm.
we always equate imposter syndrome for professional worlds. But what about being a mom? Do we know how to be a mom? Not really. Do we know how to be a wife? We never say that about, oh, I feel imposter being a wife, or I feel imposter being a mom, or I feel imposter being a husband, because there's never not a sense of belonging. when there's the imposter syndrome that come in, it's often because the places that you're in, you don't feel a sense of belonging. So when I was at Facebook or gracing the stages of Signal or even being on the podcast right now with you, feel imposter. I'm nervous as heck because I'm like, what if I say something wrong? But you are making me feel like I belong here. Like, Lovely, I chose you. You're one of my guests. And that's what I felt. So I never felt as if I was an imposter because there was always a sense of belonging. Now, mind you, I'm a Black woman in Houston, Texas. So there were times that I did not feel like I belonged. But guess what I did? I created my own table. So when I was rejected by healthcare companies within my team, like they didn't invite me to luncheons, they will literally be one place and I would be right next door at the next place. I wasn't invited to it, but guess who I did get invited to? The VPs of other departments. And so then it made me recognize. So when it came time to those performance reviews, other people spoke about me and not just my team. And it was like, wow, this is nice. Like, I don't, if I don't belong here, someone will welcome me and I can create my own table of what it looks like. I don't just need my coworkers. I have other people within the organization who will support me, who will uplift me up. And so I say that to say, like, imposter syndrome is only a sense of when you don't feel like you don't belong. And when those feelings do come up where you don't belong, are there ways that you can create your own table so you can embrace that and lean in? Like Sandra Sandberg, like who wrote the book Lean In and was a former MetaMate, like helped take Facebook to the next level. She talked about that, like how we have these lean in circles and how we can empower each other because there's not sort of a playbook on how to play at these top companies or even building our own companies. Like there isn't really a playbook, like we write about it, but how it folds out is so completely different. And so I definitely would say get you a team of people. Collaboration is so key, and that will help to lower that barrier of that imposter syndrome because you're doing it. You are worthy. And I always tell myself is that you belong here. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you are feeling that, then you belong here.
I love that. Wow, so insightful. Like you shifted the way I even think about or want to talk about or do talk about imposter syndrome. And it really does come back to, do you belong? And if you don't belong in that particular space, go build your own. I'm a big proponent of that. I do that all the time. Like there's not a group that fits me, so I'm going to go build my own. And I love that you say build your own table, right? And bring the people to the table that you need because the 5 people we hang around with the most, we become the average of. So how average do you wanna be, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. So how do you then, Lovely, build those meaningful connections that we're talking about?
It is through one conversation at a time. One conversation at a time. I love podcasts. And for those of you all who are listening to this, please get on a podcast. Podcasts are a great way to eliminate the obstacle of being the best kept secret. And it also elevates us. I started out my oh my God, my first podcast. Oh, it was so awful. I was like, I'm lovely. I didn't know my tagline. I didn't know what to say or how to do clients wins. But now when I'm doing business pitches and I'm even talking to my clients, I speak higher and I'm reminded like, this is just an interview, like I can do this. I can be able to elevate these things. So podcasts truly, I call them podcast power plays, how you can turn conversations into clients, conversations into customers, into friendships. The interviews are a great way for you to have influence. And I think that that is a really meaningful way that I have been able to do it from conversation. I have a podcast now. I'm like emailing those people back again, like, hey, I like how you did this for your podcast. Like, who's your person? Can I leverage them? Do you have an affiliate program? I'm learning about so much by being on podcasts and then listening to other people episodes. Like I listened to your episode, like I kind of like downloaded a lot, like, okay, how does she answer questions? How does this person do it? And you learn a lot about people. So then I'm reaching out to past guests saying, like, oh, I didn't know you had a business that were like that. I'm looking for that too, and sending them LinkedIn connections. So don't just consume it. Be meaningful about it. Like connect with these people because the reason why Ray-Bans right now is blowing up, like they were always impactful, but like now they have meta name to it. And with these meta glasses, collaborations are key. We can get so much further when we collaborate and connect with people so much faster than what you and I could do on our own.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Using podcasts to connect with people that in some cases you may have never had the opportunity to connect with them, like you and I. Yes,
We
I'm
both
so
live in Houston. She lives
I,
in Houston. I live in
I
Houston.
know
Never met her.
never
Never
met, not
heard of
even
her.
on the radar. We weren't even
Yes.
connected on social media before we had our first conversation just about a month ago. It's crazy. Okay. We haven't talked about what you do. We've talked about the book. We've talked about Lovely, the beautiful human being that you are. But Lovely, tell us what you do in your business.
Yes. So what I do in my business is empower others through their stories. So my story started with professionals, but then it transformed into entrepreneurs reaching out to me because I left Facebook less than 6 months ago. And I was blowing up or being explosive, as people say, by like having Forbes and being on all of these podcasts. And people are like, wait a minute, I've been in business for 5 years and I don't know the stuff that you know. Like, what did you do? How did you go about doing it? So I would say day to day, I run events all day. I am on Eventbrite. I have a book called The Eventbrite Millionaire because Eventbrite is a really good way to host all of your things. Like if you are not known, if you are a hairdresser and you want to get more people to know about your business, you could literally host events all day. So my business is coaching people, it's empowering people. So all day long, I'm actually hosting events through Eventbrite where I'm going through a series of things. I'm talking about things that I know. Hey, people don't know about LinkedIn. I built Meta Business Suite, which is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all in one, but they don't know how to empower that. So I teach them how to do that. And then from there, they enroll from this 1 hour class. Then they enroll in my 90-day coaching program and we go deeper and we go further and we answer questions about it. So it's been amazing of like just seeing ways that you can use the internet and use other platforms to transform your business. Like I have truly enjoyed it. So that is what I'm doing throughout my day, empowering other people, sharing my expertise, helping people win, and just creating the next team of like powerhouses.
I love that. This is why we like each other so much. This is the energy that brought us together. So Lovely. If someone's interested in learning more about your programs, where can they go to find you?
Yes, so actually, Eventbrite is amazing. They give you your own personal website. So
Right.
you can find my events at lovelymarshall.eventbrite.com or on all social medias, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn at the Eventbrite Millionaire.
You guys have to go see Lovely's pages. You got to go follow her on social media. She is awesome and, must I say, a powerhouse herself. Lovely. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have another question. Maybe this one we'll have to dig into the memory banks for, but how can the lessons of your childhood prepare you for the world's largest stages?
Oh, this is so good. The lessons from your childhood. So right now we are talking and we are having a great conversation. But that conversation started when I was a kid. And back then, and I know still today, a lot of people do this. But for me personally, I was growing up in church, and for church, you had to do Easter speeches and Sunday speeches, and you're in front of adults. Like my church was probably about 100 adults, which that's a lot for a kid. It's definitely not as big as Joel Osteen Church, where you're like speaking in front of thousands. But for a kid, it's 100 adults, and you're telling them about things, and they're cheering you on. And then as your life, as you grow, and I am trying to persuade VPs to buy into my products, I'm reminded of that little girl who was a kid and there were adults who were there. And so I'm just like, oh, I just need to smile and show the confidence. And remember, I know this because that's what my mom told me. Like, remember, you know your speech, say it confidently, say it with the smile, look people in their eyes. And those small memories, those small lessons prepared me. And even being bullied, like as a kid, like those
Mhm.
things prepared me to, again, create my own table. Like, oh, the bullies don't like me. So I got to be friends with other nerds. It's little lessons that we don't even realize are so instrumental in who we are today and preparing us for who we will be tomorrow.
Do you believe that doing a reflection exercise on things like that can really benefit
Yeah.
us as adults?
Yes, but you know what's so crazy? When I've discovered it, it's been just talking to people, and it's been like, I didn't realize that that moment created this. Like, I feel like you never really realize that it's a reflection. It just sort of like comes out. Most of the time, like you said, we just forget about it. Like, forgot about the fact that I was speaking, like doing Easter speeches. I don't want to say how many years ago that was a lot,
You don't have
a
to say.
20 years ago, you know? But it did. I was wondering, like, why am I able to speak so well or doing this? And then I'm like, made me speak, and I did not want to do those Easter speeches, but it prepared me. Then my mom telling me and my father telling me, it's okay. Those bullies, they just don't understand. You will have friends. You don't need them because other people will like you. Then it was like, okay, when I have bullies in the workplace, I don't need them. Other people like me. Other people need my ideas. It was little moments where you just don't realize that they really are those stepping stones and those catalysts to things. So I call myself the undefeated champion of enthusiasm. And it's because I survive 100% of my worst days. And you have too. So many of us, we thought that divorce was going to kill us, our parents passing away, losing our job. We thought that it was going to take us out, but we survived 100% of our worst days. So if we're not a champion in anything else, we are a champion of life. We're undefeated at that because when life tried to knock us down, when other people tried to knock us down, we survived 100% of our worst days.
Undefeated champion of enthusiasm. I'm gonna have to use that somewhere, lovely. I love that. This is so fantastic. I want to bring something in that we were talking about before we went live on the show today. And so, childhood really begins to mold who we are. And we use a lot of that in today's space, right? In the way that we do things, and the way that we show up. But we were talking about manifesting or even setting those goals and thinking about them because the things that we think about and practice the most become our reality. Whether you believe in manifestation or other language that you can use around that, I think that that can shift the way we work and the way we engage with people as well. So tell me what your thoughts are around manifesting.
Oh my gosh, y'all missed a great one. So I was sharing with her Neville Goddard, and for those of you all who do not know of him, his name is Neville Goddard. And my goal was one of them was to be on 25 stages for 2025, to be a best-selling author, just all the things. And in church, because I do come from a church background, they talk about how you're supposed to write the vision and make it plain. And, as the man thinketh, all of these things. Well, Never Goddard takes it a step forward. And I'm going to share with you all just a bit of a step forward about like how he talks about how the feeling is the secret. So I wrote to myself the emails I'm receiving in 2025. And it says, "Congratulations, lovely. Your book, The Eventbrite Millionaire, has just hit the bestseller list in multiple categories. We're inviting you to discuss it live on Good Morning America." Just like, just pause for a moment. Like, I wrote that email to myself, but isn't that how it happens? When you hear something good, like even knowing from Trisha when she wanted me to be on her podcast, I got an email saying, like, yeah, we would love, you're good for this guest. Like, we think you'll be good for our show. And so I just did it in terms of being an author. And I tell my clients that if you want a job offer, how much money is it that you want to make? What does a job offer look like? Think about it saying like, congratulations, we extend this offer to you. Or your book, you want it to be in Target, your products in Target. Think about how it will be from their marketing executives. Like, congratulations, your products will be in 5 of our stores globally. It's that feeling that you get that helps you to manifest it. Like, you can't help but to smile.
It's that energy. And by the way, my face hurts. I'm just saying. I have not smiled this much in days, I feel like. I'm so excited that you came on the show today. So lovely. Getting to the back end of our conversation today, could you share a story with us, either about you or a client, something that's really top of mind for you today?
Yeah. So the first thing when she asked this question, that popped up in my mind is a story of an entrepreneur again that collaboration is key. I am a part of Verizon Wireless Digital Ready community, which they pay speakers. It's called Ask the Experts. They give you $10,000. So if you're an entrepreneur, it's $10,000 where you can learn and get paid to learn. And I had a friend and I was like, girl, you have SEO capabilities. You need to be able to do it. And she was like, no, I don't think I can be able to do it. I said, yes, pitch yourself to Verizon. These companies, they need us. They need content. Content is cash and they need more people to sign up and enroll and do it. And I met her as like a client first, and then she became a friend of mine. And now she is going to be paid to speak with Verizon Wireless as a thing. But it's that confidence and it's that pushing to, again, leveraging your expertise. You know things that nobody else knows about that people need to be paid for. And it doesn't have to be Verizon. Chase has business classes. Goldman Sachs has business classes. There's so many. LinkedIn Learning has business classes where they need content from experts like you all to share those amazing things. Podcasts need guests. They won't go if they don't have you on as guests. So share your story. And I think that was like one of the most recent success story to know like that she got a paid engagement about eliminating the obstacles of being the best kept secret, and me saying like, hey, I'm doing this and they need somebody like you on here. Like, pitch your idea. Here's the people who you talk to, all of that. And to know like it's not just my own success, but other people can have this success too. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you came on the show today. So, if you're listening, all of the information to get in touch with Lovely is in the show notes. But, Lovely, will you just one more time telling those who don't have access to the show notes how they can find you?
Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Excited to connect with you all. I can be reached at Eventbrite Millionaire on all social medias, and my name is Lovely Marshall. So if you Google me or if you use Bing or Yahoo, it will pop up Lovely Marshall.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being on the show today. I don't think my face is going to recover. So, by the way, if you guys are just listening, you have to go to the YouTube channel and watch the video because they're the two biggest smiles on the screen that you have ever
Yes,
seen.
yes.
I appreciate your energy. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I look forward to having you on again so that we can continue this conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Trisha. And thank you so much to the amazing listeners.
Thank you. And that's all the time we have for today's show. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Houston Business Radio. Until then, stay tuned, stay inspired, and keep thriving in the Houston business community.